Welcome to Frost & Sullivan's Growth Podcast series. This edition breaks down highlights from our Frost Radar analysis, evaluating market leaders, innovation benchmarks, and growth potential across the collaborative work management landscape. We'll spotlight companies to action and explore what separates emerging leaders from the rest of the field.
Imagine walking into a modern business office. Every employee has access to messaging platforms, project management tools, shared documents, dashboards, video conferencing, automation software. On paper, it looks like productivity should be at an all-time high, yet many organizations are experiencing a very different reality. Projects often stall, teams duplicate work without realizing it, decisions take longer than they should. The problem isn't a lack of technology. The problem is that all of this technology seems disconnected, operating in silos. Today, we're exploring one of the most important drivers of digital transformation, collaborative work management platforms, or CWM.
For years, enterprises believed productivity challenges could be solved by adding more tools. Need communication? Deploy a messaging platform. Need project visibility? Add a project management solution. Need collaboration? Introduce another workspace. But then something else happened. As organizations expanded their digital toolkits, work became increasingly fragmented. Marketing teams operated in one system, product teams in another, finance in a third, customer service somewhere else entirely. Information became scattered across applications, workflows became disconnected, and employees spent more time coordinating work than actually doing it. This created what many organizations now refer to as the productivity paradox. Employees are surrounded by productivity tools, yet productivity itself often remains elusive. The issue isn't effort, it's execution. When teams cannot see dependencies, understand priorities, or coordinate decisions effectively, even the most talented workforce struggles to move quickly. That's why enterprise leaders are shifting their focus away from individual productivity and toward end-to-end execution. And that shift is creating an entirely new category of opportunity. So think of this: if your organization doubled the number of collaboration tools tomorrow, would execution become faster or even more fragmented?
Collaborative work management originally emerged as a way to organize projects, assign tasks, and improve team collaboration. But today's enterprises need much more than digital task lists. They need systems capable of coordinating work across thousands of employees, dozens of departments, and increasingly complex business ecosystems. As a result, CWM platforms are evolving into something much bigger: execution intelligence platforms. Think of them as the operational nervous system of the enterprise. Instead of simply tracking tasks, they connect people, workflows, data, approvals, dependencies, and business outcomes into a single environment. This transformation is happening because investment and growth priorities have changed. A few years ago, organizations were excited by basic AI features. Today, those same organizations are asking tougher questions. Can AI reduce cycle times? Can it eliminate unnecessary handoffs? Can it help employees make better decisions without sacrificing oversight? The conversation has shifted from AI capability to business impact, and providers that help enterprises execute faster, not just collaborate better, are gaining significant attention.
Now, one of the most fascinating developments reshaping work management is the rise of agentic AI. For years, AI functioned primarily as an assistant. You asked questions, it provided answers. You requested content, it generated drafts. Useful? Absolutely. Transformational? Not always. Agentic AI changes that equation. These systems don't simply respond to instructions. They can plan, recommend actions, coordinate multiple steps, and execute workflows under human supervision. Imagine a project delay occurring in one department. Rather than waiting for someone to discover the issue, an AI agent identifies the risk, alerts stakeholders, adjusts timelines, recommends resource changes, and initiates corrective workflows automatically. That's not just assistance. That's execution support. But there's an important caveat. The effectiveness of agentic AI depends heavily on data quality. Organizations cannot deploy intelligent digital labor on top of fragmented information. Clean data, connected systems, and well-governed processes become essential foundations. The winners won't necessarily be the companies with the most AI. They'll be the organizations with the strongest operational data ecosystems. Is your organization preparing AI to assist employees and preparing data so AI can actually deliver meaningful outcomes? If not, how and where should you start?
Next, let's talk about something less visible but incredibly important: the shared work graph. Most organizations see projects, documents, teams, and workflows as separate entities. Modern CWM platforms increasingly connect them together. Imagine a living map of enterprise execution. Every employee, every task, every document, every workflow, every dependency, all connected. That's essentially what a shared work graph creates, and the implications are profound. 1. Instead of searching endlessly for information, employees can instantly understand relationships between work items. 2. Instead of wondering how a delay affects other teams, leaders can see downstream impacts immediately. 3. Instead of making decisions in isolation, organizations gain context. This context becomes especially valuable as enterprises operate across hybrid work environments, global teams, and increasingly specialized functions. Thus, the organizations that create connected visibility gain something competitors often lack: operational clarity. And clarity frequently becomes a competitive advantage because better decisions usually begin with better context. So ask yourself this: which growth processes will help your teams implement the right best practices in CWM?
Whenever AI enters enterprise operations, one issue quickly rises to the top: trust. Why? Because organizations are asking critical questions. Who can access sensitive information? How are AI generated recommendations created? Can decisions be audited? Where is enterprise data stored? How are permissions enforced? As AI becomes embedded within workflows, governance moves from a compliance discussion to a business requirement. Enterprises increasingly expect regional data residency, transparent AI policies, content provenance, role-based permissions, and auditable controls. In other words, organizations want innovation, but not at the expense of accountability. This is creating a new competitive battleground among providers. The future won't belong solely to platforms with the most powerful AI capabilities. It will belong to those that combine intelligence with governance. If your AI platform made a critical business recommendation today, could you confidently explain how it arrived at that conclusion?
Going forward, executives are becoming less interested in features and far more interested in outcomes. For years, software vendors competed by launching new capabilities: more dashboards, more integrations, more automation options. But enterprise buyers are increasingly asking, what business value does this create? Can it reduce execution costs? Can it accelerate delivery? What are the productivity gains to be expected? How much return on investment will be created? This shift is forcing providers to rethink how they position their solutions. Competitors are no longer selling software, they're selling execution improvements. They're demonstrating how workflows become faster, how teams become more aligned, and how decisions become more effective. All of this means that the collaborative work management opportunity size is projected to grow from roughly $7 billion in 2025 to more than $17 billion by 2032. If every technology investment had to prove its impact on execution, which platforms would best justify cost?
As we look ahead, the most exciting opportunities in CWM will come from helping entire enterprises operate differently. Instead of managing dozens of disconnected tools, enterprises want unified execution environments. Instead of evaluating multiple vendors, they want integrated platforms. Instead of automating isolated tasks, they want orchestrated business outcomes. The providers positioned for long-term success are focusing on three priorities. First, creating a unified execution fabric that connects planning, collaboration, workflows, and governance. Second, embedding AI directly into the work graph so platforms can predict risks and automate actions while maintaining human oversight. And third, building open, interoperable architectures that integrate seamlessly with CRM, ERP, and DevOps ecosystems. The goal is no longer productivity in isolation. The goal is enterprise-wide execution excellence. And for organizations navigating increasingly complex operating environments, that distinction may determine who leads and who struggles to keep pace. So ask yourself this: do you have the tools to identify, analyze, and act on other growth opportunities in this space?
That's all for this episode of Frost & Sullivan's Growth Podcast. For deeper analysis, research insights, and strategic frameworks shaping future growth, Explore our studies and resources at frost.com or reach out to our team at hello@frost.com. We'll be back soon with more perspectives to help you stay clear-headed and growth ready.